Inspiration comes from a variety of sources. I am amazed all the time at where ideas for sermons, devotions, and things I want to share about my faith come from. In seminary, I had a really big anxiety and fear about entering ministry for a lot of reasons. But one of the biggest fears I had was preaching funerals. Now, I'd been to a lot of funerals. In fact, before entering seminary, I had a chance to be a part of a couple of funerals and participate in them, but not doing the main message. And also had a chance to preach often at different times. But usually when I had a chance to preach, I had a lot of lead time. I could have weeks and sometimes months to plan and prepare for a sermon. And so when I was in seminary, funerals were particularly difficult and a question for me because I knew that when I got word about a funeral, I would only have a short window of time in order to prepare my thoughts and share with the family. And so I really was afraid of that. In seminary, I took a preaching course, and in the preaching course, we actually had a chance to preach a funeral message. Now, even in this, we actually had several weeks in order to prepare that. We got the scenario of a person who was the deceased and how we would remember their family and craft and create that sermon around that biographical information. So fast forward into the ministry, and I realized that I had nothing to fear because God provides the message. God provides what I needed and what I need to share. There's been weeks and times when I've had funerals where lots of things have been going on, and I've had to squeeze it in amongst other situations. But God has been faithful, and God has given me words. There's also been times when not have too much going on, and a funeral arises, and have plenty of opportunity to focus and think and talk with family members and do what I needed to do in order to minister in appropriate ways. My friends, the reason I tell you all of this is because God inspires and brings messages in very different ways. I come to you today with this devotion from the back row of the sanctuary. Now, a lot of people don't think that there's much inspiration in this spot. The old adage says that you need to come to church early for a good back seat. This is a place where a lot of people like to hang out. They don't want to be up near the front because they're afraid they'll get called upon or something will happen and they won't be able to sneak out, and there's lots of reasons to sit in the back row. But most people don't think this is where inspiration arises. I differ. I disagree. The inspiration for today's message actually came on a short drive that I had from the church office to my home. It happened the other day, and I got in the car and I turned on the car to go home, and on the radio was one of my favorite songs that has been out for just a couple of years. It's by a group called Sidewalk Prophets. First of all, they have a great name, and they have some wonderful music, but this particular song is entitled Smile. And I have a link to this song in the description of this video, and I invite you to take a couple of minutes to listen to the song. It's upbeat, it's exciting, but it also has a wonderful message. It says that when all else fails, when we don't know the answers, when we don't know how things go, we need to smile. As I heard this song on the way home, of course, I was singing along, and it's a great song to sing to. It's really easy. I invite you to do that too. I thought about a passage from Scripture. Now, we've been going through the book of Psalms, and this is a psalm that we read a couple of weeks ago, but it still is applicable to this idea, this message. And it comes from Psalm 30, verse 5. Now, I was reading it again in preparation for this devotion, and was looking at it in various translations on the Gateway Bible app, the Gateway Bible source and site. And I came across a translation of the Bible that I didn't know before. And so I want to share that verse with you from the translation known as The Voice. Now, I haven't spent a lot of time researching what this translation is and what's background, and we can deal with that at a different time. But I thought their wording in this particular verse, Psalm 30, verse 5, really spoke to me. I hope it speaks to you as well. His wrath, you see, is fleeting, but his grace lasts a lifetime. The deepest pains may linger through the night, but joy greets the soul with a smile in the morning. But joy greets the soul with joy in the morning. A familiar translation of this latter part of this verse is sorrow may last for the night, but joy comes with the morning. The point to the song that you will have the link to and be able to listen to is that when we smile, it's a great way to heal our heart. It's a great way to heal our soul. Yes, many of us go through sorrows and trials, questions and doubts, fears. But the best response in the midst of those moments is to smile, because God's going to show up. God's going to give you the message that you need, the inspiration you need to do the next thing, to take the next faithful step in your life. It is my hope today that you will smile. It is my hope that you will be blessed by the song by the Sidewalk prophets, but also that no matter what sorrow you're going through, that you will find joy in the morning. God bless, and have a great day.